Hello everybody, Ragtag Zagvi here. Welcome to the next episode. In the last episode, we helped out Nopon with his job, and now he's a hard worker. Also seeing a heart-to-heart with Fiora and Dunban. Now I think we've done everything we could possibly do right now, so I think it's time, not to delay any longer, for us to start heading to the Mechonis. We need to make our way up the Mechonis and try and stop Egil. And unless I'm mistaken, it should be pretty straightforward. I don't think we ever need to go back to any other area currently to do any quests. So yeah, we're gonna primarily be focusing a lot on the Mechonis. Let's get up here and open the door to the Mechonis. I think I'll have Melia hang out with us for a little bit before I eventually switch her out. After this very elaborate door opening, let's walk this long way to the Mechonis. It's a very long path. I'm impressed that they built this bridge, although I presume a part of it is based off the finger. So but they have mercy on you, and they're just gonna have you warp there. You don't have to travel the entire distance.
And Mechonis.
Oh, it's so different, seeing them from this kind of perspective.
We cannot see it from here, but our people are still fighting up there.
It's difficult to believe that two such huge things ever fought each other. I wonder how the Machina felt at the time.
Must have been horrible.
Scary too.
Fear robs us of reason. Out of fear we commit terrible atrocities and call them acts of self-preservation.
Fear gives rise to more fear. A never-ending circle of hatred.
Perhaps that circle can be broken.
Fear. It must be what's driving this. What's made Egil act this way.
Oh.
Oh, they don't quite warp you, but yeah. After you walk a few steps, yeah, they'll just warp you to the Mechonis. They don't make you walk the entire way. Is it gonna take like what? How many episodes was it in Dragon Ball that took Goku to get to the end of Snake Way? It was like 10 plus episodes or something like that, wasn't it? I know he was on Snake Way for a ridiculous long time. And that's not counting the times he fallen off Snake Way. Because I think he fell off of it once or twice. And had to redo, I think, the entire journey. Hey, welcome to a vision. That's a second retro diode. Man, I can't wait to see the looks on the faces of Colony 6. So yeah, here's one of the items needed for Colony 6. Don't know why they need a retro diode for, but yeah, you can see a lot of machinery. Welcome to the inside of the Mechonis. We're in Mechonis Field, where Bionis was mainly organic, had natural mountains, grass, and everything. Here, everything's mechanical.
We're inside the Mechonis.
Just how I imagined it. It's all totally mechanical. It ain't gonna be easy getting up this thing.
Egil is at the top.
Yeah, so a stark contrast to what we're used to seeing on the Bionis. See, everything is mechanical in the Bionis. Basically, the Bionis, not the Bionis, the Mechonis is one giant-ass robot. The in a sense, the Mechonis itself is a mechon. Which, we get to fight a lot of mechons here. So speaking about mechons, while we fight these mechons and beat them all up, I like what they do with the mechons in this part of the story. I also love some of the names they get at this point, like Grace here. Yeah, some of the newer mechons start getting very silly names. But I like what they did with the Machina and the Mechons, because I was about to say the Mechon made the Machinas. No, the Machinas made the ooh, those are not too bad. Yeah, I'll put those on. The Machina made the Mechon, and presumably they were made with the intention of like how we would use robots in the real world, like basically made to do manual labor and like simple tasks, while also probably weaponizing a few of them to handle whatever threats that live on the Mechonis that the Machina cannot deal with on their own. That makes perfect sense. And then when the battle between Bionis and Mechonis happened, yeah, and I guess that many of the Mechon just they retrofitted many of the Mechon to be essentially war machines. Especially when Egil took over, he pretty much turned all Mechon into weapons of mass destruction.
Right, let's keep going.
The F attack frame. So yeah, the enemies here will often drop gear for Fiora to use. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, I'll give her that. They'll often drop gear. Enemies from this point on, especially Mechon-based enemies, will drop gear that Fiora can use, since Fiora can only use Mechon-based gear. And oddly enough, they can drop Machina weapons, so they can drop anti-Mechon weapons for you to use against them. I don't know why, but okay. But yeah, going back onto my chain of thought, I love what they did with the Machina. Like, they basically are machine people, but they don't, like, yeah, they're humanoid, but they don't look like too similar to Homs. They definitely, definitely at first glance, if you were to see them and not know the context behind them, you would probably think they're villainous. Because even their designs are not like designs that would make you think, yeah, that's a friendly person. Turn this on so we can activate the elevator. And, yeah, they look very villainous in a way. They're still good, but not in a way that you would immediately sympathize with them and be like, oh, they're perfectly innocent. They did nothing wrong. They're kind of struck a good middle ground with them. Because they are the reason that the Mechon exists, because they created the Mechon. But they're not... Shit. Put that back on, done, man. But they're not the... But they never meant to send the Mechon towards the Homs. At least not in, like, an aggressive attack. They at no point ever wanted to hurt Homs. If anything, they wanted to live peacefully with the Homs and all the other races of the Bionis. And then the Bionis just one day went like, yeah, I don't want you to exist anymore, so you can all die. And then Egil decided to take that to the extreme. So here you have a platform. Now this purple goo-like thing, I don't know if this is implied to be like oil. I presume it's oil. This will hurt you if you swim in it, so try to avoid swimming in it. This platform is here, so that way you have a way up in case you do fall down into the oil. There is a secret area, I believe, down here that we have to jump down to, I believe, on one of the elevators. So I'd have to check the elevators to see where it is, because there is a secret area you can jump down to, which also has a unique monster, which also, by the way, Mechonis Field. Much like Sword Valley and Galahad Fortress, you will not be able to come back to Mechonis Field once you progress to a certain point in the story. So if there are items you need to grab, make sure you grab them all along the way. This also includes any quests that can only be done in Mechonis Field, because again, you can't come back here after a certain point in the story. So make sure you grab all the items you can, and for completing your Collectopedia, and for doing quests down the line, and also for Colony 6 reconstruction. We're also trying to find all the unique monsters so you can fight them and get their affinity coins to be able to link skills. Because again, they will be locked off to you after a certain point.
because we're girls.
And also that conversation they had before they entered.
I'm afraid you have much to learn about the fairy sect.
Why do I get the feeling that mastering the Monado is going to be easier?
Okay, that's another good line. If I could try, if they say that again, I'll be quiet. But yeah. But Dunban, what they said about fear, like how fear can rob us of reasoning, and out of self-preservation, we will commit acts, even acts that would ordinarily be atrocious and animosities and whatnot that we would not normally commit, simply to try and out of self-preservation. I love that line from Dunban because it does imply to humanity as well. Like when pushed to a corner, humanity, like a race or a country, will commit acts that they wouldn't ordinarily do out of fear and try to justify it.
What's up, Shulk?
Look, it's a switch to activate a lift. If we can get it to work, it should take us up.
Ricky want to ride lift?
We can't. There's no power going to it.
Boring!
What do we do?
Well, if we could find the main power supply...
Okay, people, let's get looking.
Yeah. If we can connect the power to the switch, we should be able to use the lift.
You want to go up to the top level of Mechonis Field, but there's no power to the lift. Use the master power panel to get the lift working again. I want to check down this elevator. No, this doesn't look like the right one. Again, I need to check the elevators because I believe there is a secret area in this area, but you need to jump down from one of the elevators. I believe it's actually that area right there. That is considered a secret area. So I need to find the elevator that's associated with so I can jump down it and be able to access that secret area. You can use the second lift to get to the floor. So yeah, so using fear to justify our actions when pushed into a corner, which, when you think about it, is probably what Egil is doing. Like, his war against Bionis is probably not just fueled by hatred, but it's also probably fueled by fear. Especially the fear that he experienced during the time where the Bionis was fighting the Mechonis. So it's an interesting way to look at it. So, Egil himself as a person may not be entirely evil, but out of his fear and hatred, he's justifying his actions. So we need to bring power to the third lift. So yeah, out of fear and hatred, he's essentially trying to justify his actions. So Egil, if we were to probably get to know him like under normal circumstances, he would probably be a pretty good and nice guy. But during this time, because he's fueled with nothing but hatred and fear, he's doing evil atrocities out of the name of that hatred and fear.
One, two, cross.
That was too easy.
Let us hurry onwards. Let's press on and on and on.
So it's an interesting way to look at things, and it definitely, especially when you apply it to Egil, definitely paints Egil more than just, you know, your generic black and white villain where it's like, oh, I'm evil because I am evil. Ha 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 ha. It's like, no, there is actually legitimate reasons for why he's doing this. Or at least reasons that you can draw comparisons to and get a general idea. As for his full reasoning for why he's doing this, we don't fully understand, but it is not hard to figure out that he's doing this out of both hatred and fear. And using that hatred and fear to justify his actions. We just need to get one more bronze wood and then we can complete that. You climb down. Where do you go? Anyway. Ooh, I forget, does this lead to a memory chip? I think it does. Yes, it does! And to some ether crystals. So we gotta climb back up here. So I think there's two... No, there's not two switches, but I want to fully explore this area because, again, I think there are a lot of item orbs, and also I think there's a few unique monsters if you actually take the time to look. Oh, that's a good name, Moist. What in God's name would name you to name your robot, or at least a type of one of your robots, Moist? Like, some of the names make sense. Like, we saw one that's called Grunt. That makes sense to name a robot. And we fought a few robots, a mech-on earlier that was called Scout. Which that would probably make it very self-explanatory what its role is. But Moist. Did Ego name these things? It's like, why on earth would you name your, one of your robot types Moist? Like, I presume it's an anagram for something, but that is still not a great name to name your robot. Especially if it's not, like, this doesn't even look like, if it was a robot that you would see in the water, then that would make sense, but no, it's nowhere near water, so it's like, why call your robot Moist? Like, you have Cord here. Like, again, I presume most of these Mechon names are anagrams. Faith. Ooh, Gemini leggings. Let's take a look at those. Ooh, I like that yellow on Shulk. Yeah, I like these pants. I especially like the yellow. He looks very fancy with that. Let's jump down here for a bit. Right, I think, yeah, if you jump down here, you can avoid the Mechon up there. Main power switch, so let's fight Grunt. Which I don't know why you would call this giant thing a grunt. Trick. Alright, let's turn on the power. That will activate that, but also activate that particular switch, so we can go that way. Ooh, I see an item over there in the distance. Let's just beat up these Mechons.
The enemy's weak, but don't drop your guard.
Yeah, and also I hope you grab the Machina weapons from the village. Again, you're going to be fighting a lot of Mechon-based enemies, so those weapons are very useful, so you don't have to worry about casting enchant all the time. The snow transceiver. Okay, what, does it transmit snow? Yeah, that's a very steep drop. We'll fight those Mechon over there so I can get those item orbs. Again, I want to collect every item orb I can see because, again, you can only come here for a certain amount of time and then eventually it's closed off to the player. Ooh, 2-in-1 attack. Nice. Witch. Well, did that chest actually got thrown onto this platform?
How rude. Quite.
The Machina Rod, I think that's what I have her having.
Why do I get
Lord...
mastering the Monado is going to be easier?
I didn't realize they were chatting. And the Aegis arms, or Aegis arms. Let's take a look at those. Ooh, yeah, put that on. Ooh, actually, you're better. You have better stats than, yeah, because this is a staff, this is a rod. Yeah, you're much better, and you have 2 gem slots, so I can give you 2 gems later. Yeah, just keep in mind, I believe there are 2 types of Machina weapons. For Melia, it is a staff and rod. And I was about to go down the elevator, and I realized, nope, that's not the right elevator to go down. So yeah, if you get a Machina weapon and you're not too sure which one's better, always check the weapon you just acquired. I believe the rod version of the weapon is considered better than the staff versions. I think Dunban goes something similar. Like, I think one is called the sword, and then I think the other is called, like, something else. I believe the better versions, do have better stats, which makes them a bit more better. I think most of the regular weapons are still a bit better than them, but they're much more better than the versions you can buy at the shop downstairs. But here we've activated a corkscrew, which will allow us to go up. Also, by the way, I haven't mentioned it, but I love this song. Mechonis has a lot of good music to it, and this song in particular for Mechonis Field sounds really great. Very techno about it, very mysterious. I love this song. And that is the theme of a lot of Mechonis' music, is that a lot of it's like very... Ooh, we found the Oxidation Outpost. There's also the Destroyer of Salvation. Is that Sakavation or whatever? Down there, so we have to eventually fight that. But yeah, a lot of Mechonis' music is very technical, like techno and whatnot. Because again, it's supposed to be very different to what we're used to seeing on the Bionis, where the Bionis was very organic and more natural. Ooh, that bot just got deleted from existence. Ooh, after this fight, I should check Ryan. And on. Ryan, have you mastered your skill yet? Yes, you have, so let's put you down diligence. You're close to mastering, so I'm gonna have to keep an eye on you. Get the Juicy Sneak Pot plant. Okay, that's a weird name for a plant. Utopia Chorus. Interesting item name. But yeah, if you can, listen to this song and go look up this song and listen to it in your own time, because it's actually a really good song. Anyway, let's take out these Mechon.
Let us remain vigilant.
Let's fight these grunts.
The enemy's weak, but don't drop your guard.
I will give my all, no matter the enemy. This is easy. Double blade!
Let's keep up the pressure.
Oh, indeed. I'm feeling pretty good.
Ooh, that was a good hit.
This is too easy. Backslash!
We can do it. I know we can.
We've almost got it. It's over.
Let us hurry onwards. Let's press on and on and on.
And on. Titus arms and the Acolyte gloves. Let's take a look at those. Ooh, that's considered heavy armor. Ooh, Oh, that is sweet. Okay, you're putting that on, Dunban. Tweet, tweet. That's a funny item name. I forget if the description for this item when we put it in our Clickpedia is also pretty funny. See anything back here? There is. Alright, let's go fight that unique monster. First, we're gonna have to battle our way through Trickens and Grunts.
Don't drop your guard!
I will give it my all, no matter the enemy. This should be easy. Double blade! Double wind!
Too easy!
Gravity zero! Okay, so far, win! It's blowing through!
Too easy!
Let us hurry onwards. We definitely got
Nice, we can start the battle with a chain attack.
Sounds perfect for a chain attack!
Let's go for it.
Melia, it's up to you!
There's a break. Spear break to topple the enemy. After spear. Oh, so I just forgot. I need to equip spear break to use this, so might have to redo that.
Let's go! Oh! Fiora! Alrighty! Mag Storm! We did it!
Perfect! This is the Manana's
Double
power!
blade!
Let's just hit it with that.
I'm feeling pretty good. Your actions are beautiful.
Fiora!
I'm gonna go all
The Infinity Burst.
attack would be good now.
Alright!
Ooh, we're ready for another chain attack.
Do this! Split edge! Melia!
Leave it to me. That's called Bolt! Fiora, your turn. My turn.
Did she not topple?
Gravity zero.
All together!
We're not finished.
Okay, my turn! How do you like that?
Not gentle enough.
Alright, time for a chain attack!
I feel all my super energy.
Finish it with a chain attack.
Each other is our greatest strength, and together
How do you like that?
we were amazing.
Get the shade glasses, the grizzly drones, and second gear. Ooh, yeah, I like that on Shulk. Put that on. Melee, I believe, got some drones. A sign for optimal aggression. Sword drones. Anyway, I think we'll end the episode here. So in the next episode, we'll continue going up Mechonis. Honest, so if you enjoyed this episode, do like the video as it helps tremendously. Subscribe if you haven't already, leave a comment down below on your thoughts of this episode, and share the video so that way more people can discover my content and help the channel grow, and I will see you all next time. Later!